Okay, so I've tried to record this a couple times now, and I keep getting too fucking convoluted about it. Because, I mean, it's tough for me. I've been playing this since I was 11, so I just have this deep breadth of knowledge. But you, on the other hand, have probably not played a video game since you're 11, so I don't want to just overwhelm you with, like, gibberish, which is what I keep doing. So I'm going to try not to. So here's my characters. It looks like I've got a lot, which I do. Well, there's 4 on this screen, but I have like these different war bands. They're called like little different groupings that I put them in. A lot of them are just at a low level though, because I am rebuilding my account. I tend to play on these ones the most, like up top here, but I've separated them into the different factions. So in this game, you know, this is like this is where everybody goes. This is the character creation screen. You see the races on either side. There's the Alliance and the Horde. Now, when you create a character, you know, if you got a computer and then got this game and started playing with me, I'd probably tell you to pick the Alliance, just because I tend to prefer playing on these characters. I grew up playing the Horde because my father's on the Horde and all of his friends were too. You generally kind of want to pick the side that your friends play on, but that said, I do play on both sides. Like, here I have Adavain. This is my Alliance priest. He is a Void Elf, so you see right here the Void Elves, and he is a priest. So this is how he started out. But I also have, if I go down here, he's level 80, that Adavain, but then here I have Adavain again, level 69 priest, and he is a Nightborn. So if I go back to the character creation screen, he's a Nightborn. He's on the Horde side, and he is a priest. So I have one on either side. If you were to play player versus player, this matters a little bit. And it also matters kind of what like server you pick. So like all of my Alliance characters are on a server that a lot of Alliance players play on, and then my Horde characters, the same thing. So yeah, this is how it is. This is how the lore was back, like, way before World of Warcraft existed, like way before 2000. Like, this game is based off an older game from the 90s, and back then it was humans versus orcs, and so that's always kind of been the theme. But you can now they've kind of like allowed it so like if you are playing on Alliance, you can still do some things with Horde characters. But again, I grew up playing Horde, and I still love a lot of these races, but I tend to play more on Alliance because, as you can see by the background, like, here's one, like, this background here is the main Horde city. So only Horde characters can gather in their main cities. And there's a few main cities for Horde and a few for Alliance. Most of the main cities are mixed, and if you go into a main city, you can't attack anybody, even if they're the opposite faction. And, you know, you can go through this whole game without ever doing player versus player. You can make sure that war mode is always turned off, and so nobody will ever be able to just randomly attack and kill you. But if you do put war mode on, and you want to play against other players like that, then if you are in your faction's main city, like if you are an undead character and you are in Orgrimmar, which is the city in the background you see here, Alliance characters can't go in and attack you. That's just for Horde players, if that makes sense. And so I'm explaining this because I tend to play more on Alliance now because I find them to have prettier cities, more pleasant cities to be in. Maybe it's because I spent too much time in all these edgelord cities growing up. I still love them, but nowadays I tend to play on the Alliance side just because I find them more pleasant and happy feeling. But I still have characters on both sides, so so what can I say? The gender doesn't really matter. You can change that any time at the barber shop, which is nice. It wasn't always that way. Your race does matter to a degree insofar as the only way you can change it is it's going to cost money to change it. So if you were to create a human warrior, I'm pretty sure every race can be a warrior. So you can see that not every race can be every class. For example, Evoker This is a class evoker down here. Only the Drakthir can be an evoker. It's just specific to them. Same thing with Demon Hunter. You have to be a Night Elf or a Blood Elf to be a Demon Hunter. There's only one race on either side of the faction that can be those classes. Monk, I believe every race can be a monk. I'm pretty sure every race can be a warrior. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is if you were to if you were to start out as a Void Elf warrior and you spent all this time and you got up to level 80 and then you're like, you know what, I actually think I would prefer the look and animation and just aesthetics of a Night Elf. You could pay $32 real money and change your race, or you could just create a new character. But you can't change your class. You can't pay real money to change it. You can't do anything in-game. Like I said, you can go to a barbershop, change your body type. They call it body 1, body 2. At the barbershop, and you can pay real money to change your race. As long as the class that you are, you can also still be for that race, but you can't change your class. So your class is a really important pick. I told you that you don't have to do anything you don't want to in this game, which is true. But insofar as there still are like fundamental aspects to the game. So obviously your character is somebody in this World of Warcraft. Your character is able to kill other things, either other players, if you so choose, right? You don't have to do player versus player. That's not obligatory. But what is obligatory is most of the progression in this game is surrounding, like, you go out into the world, you kill a beast, or you go out into the world and defeat a bad guy, right? You do quests for characters in-game, for non-player characters, NPC characters. And so it's important to pick a class that you enjoy doing those quests with, right? You want to pick a class that's enjoyable for you, and that just comes mostly with trial and error, and just, feeling out what you think looks cool. Sometimes people will pick a class and that is just forever their favorite class because it's the first one they learned and it's awesome. As you can see, I have made so many characters because I love trying out the different classes. Priest tends to be one of my favorites, my longtime favorites, specifically the Shadow Priest. Hunter, I like Paladin. I have a lot of Paladins, but I like all the classes. They're all fun in their own ways. Some of them I like more than others, and that's a real fun part of the game, is figuring out how every class kind of works. I mean, for me it is anyway, but again, not everybody. Some people just have maybe one or two characters that they exclusively just play because they know what they like. So yeah, this is the part that kind of gets like convoluted, but maybe you're thinking like, okay, well, how would I pick a class? The races really are mostly just aesthetic. There's a few things that are specific to certain races, like the Drakthir, for example. They have wings, they can fly. A human can't fly without a flying mount, but it's not hard to get a flying mount, so it's like not much of a inhibition, but for the most part the races are purely aesthetic. So say, I don't know, I like the Draenei. Yeah, there's the only, if you were like here right now and you were about to make a character, the only thing I would say is don't pick a class like Priest. Despite them being my favorite, their main role is that of a healer. So like every class, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but every class has roles. So a warrior, for example, you can either be a tank or you can do melee damage. Melee meaning up close, like you run up to an enemy, to a bad guy, to a mob, to a creature, a monster, and you hit it with your axe. You have obviously so many different things you can do than that, but Hunter, you can, you have a bow, an arrow, presumably, or a gun, or a crossbow, whatever you want. Mage, you cast spells, frost, fire, or arcane. A rogue, you're stealthy, This is also melee damage. There's ranged damage. So you do a lot of damage, and damage like refers to like, you know, again, you could be a healer if you wanted to, and most of your things that you do are just centered around healing others, but in order to do that, you're going to have to play with other people. And if you were starting it, I would say don't be a healer, because it's quite challenging to have other people rely on you like that. If you just want to enjoy the game at your own pace, then pick a damage class. Or a tank, but probably a damage class. A tank refers to your primary goal is your primary like role is to kind of be like a shield to other players who do a lot of damage. So it's, I think the best classes to start out with are classes where you can either do melee or ranged damage. Hunter is a really good one to start out with, and hunters are really fun because they are one of the few classes that can have a pet. And warlocks can have pets, but they can only have certain pets. They have like demon pets, maybe like 6 or 7 different ones, but a hunter is really cool because you can go out and tame your own pets, and that's sort of what you've been seeing me do lately with Canid. Is my... Okay, let me log in now. Maybe show you some stuff. Classes are kind of convoluted, but hopefully I kind of like explain them a little bit well. Oh, okay, I'm logging in here. So yeah, this guy is a hunter. Here I am in the world. He is... Oh, there's like kind of... what are those? Old town. Okay, I never noticed those flags before. So he's a hunter, and I can call my pets. So I went out into the world and I found these guys and I tamed them, and I could only do that because of my class is a hunter. It's the only class that can go out and tame animals. And I have two of them. Like every class, this is where it gets really complicated, but every class has like a specialization. So there's different ways to be a hunter. You could not use pets if you didn't want to, but I do like that feature of... So I chose Beast Mastery. So the gameplay is focused around relying on and commanding my pets to go do things for me. So like if I see a bad guy, I can get these guys to go and attack it. If I just wanted to be the kind of hunter that, like, you know, doesn't use pets and more focuses on like my bow and arrow, then I could do that too by selecting another specialization. Anyway, this doesn't matter though. I'm already getting too convoluted, but so this is the world. I guess I can show you that. This is the map here. Let me zoom in. Can you see my little cursor right there on the screen, walking around? Okay, that's me walking. Okay, let me zoom into. Let me zoom out. Okay, this is Stormwind. First off, actually, let me just like. Oh, I zoomed out. Oh my god. This is Stormwind. Let me fly up and give you a good view. This is one of the main Alliance cities, so there's only Alliance players in here, and non-player characters. But the Horde characters can't go here. So here's the city, and see, it's just more pleasant, I think, than the other places. This is a real person. Anybody you see with, okay, not anybody with a green. God, this is where it gets complicated too. Generally, anybody with a blue or green name above their head, especially the blue ones, is a real person. So this is a real person, this is not. I can just tell because I've played this game so long, and you can kind of tell by the way characters move and stuff, who, like, this is a real person. That's a real person right here jumping around. This is not. This is a guard. This is a non-player character. This is a real person. So yeah, this is the city. A lot of people are obviously inside the city. It's a safe place to be, like to log out as your character. You know, you could go out into the world and find like, you don't want to really like log your character out next to a monster, because then when you log in, you're going to be next to the monster. So it's nice to come back to the city. And there's also lots of things in the city that you need. Like this is the auction house. This is a real player run economy, like auction house. You can look up for different weapons and buy them. Okay, so yeah, here's the map. there's the map. Here's the map. I just wanted to give you a sense of the world. So this is the city I'm in, right? If I zoom out, this is Stormwind. That's the city, okay? I zoom out again. That's where... Can you see my cursor? Oh, I don't think you can see the cursor. It's not getting picked up, but I'm like right here. I just zoomed out again. There's more map. Like, these are all areas you can go to and explore. Yeah, so how can I, okay, but yeah, like, say, when I said, like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to, I was thinking, too, of one time I got a friend of mine into this. She was my roommate at the time. I was, like, 21, and she leveled up almost exclusively just by picking flowers. So in this game, you can have professions. You can have 2 professions. You can pick any of the professions. There's no restrictions, not like the class system. Here they are. So my character has herbalism and mining, and my friend just leveled up by doing herbalism. Like, here, I just found a herb I can pick. It's a silver leaf. Pick it up. It gave me some experience. Mind you, it is a very small percentage of experience, but she really enjoyed it and would just, like, get on her character, explore the world, pick flowers. She didn't ever really kill anything, and just leveled up that way. So that's what I mean, like, you can really just do whatever you want in this world. You can, like, fly around, explore. Here's another main hub where a lot of people hang out. These are all real players. There's a lot of stuff on my screen too, which is probably, like, confusing. I can hide it. It's like spells. This is the chat. This is my mini map. But yeah, these are all players here. You see people just hang out, talk to each other. Some people role play with each other. Oh, this is... Okay, here's a character from the Horde. See how their name is Orange? If I turned my war mode on... My war mode is not on right now. If I turn my war mode on... Which is right... God, where is it? Here. Right down here in the corner. If I turned that on, then we could fight each other. Which I don't want to do, because this character's... My character's level 75, and he's probably level 80. We can't talk to each other right now. If I try and, like, if I say something, if I say, like, hello, like this, this person can... This person beside me was able to read that because she is a member of the Alliance, but my text would have been all scrambled for this person. It would have, like, auto-scrambled it so that they can't understand it. And it's like we speak 2 different languages because we're on different factions. So yeah. So this, hopefully this gives you a little glimpse of the game. You said that you were interested in books. There's lots of different uses for books in this game. Like this one, I have an old history book. This is a quest item. This is another quest item. Mostly books are like, I mean, if you so chose, I guess you could collect books, but books are used for, like, many different things in the game. So sometimes it's for a quest, and, you know, you need to do something with that book. You need to bring it somewhere and read it and cast a spell, or I don't know, whatever. The book that I worked for, like, I had to get... It's kind of complicated, but I had to, like, collect these eggs, these dragon eggs, and in exchange for that, I would get what's called reputation with a specific group. And once I got enough reputation, then I became exalted with them. And this is, like, probably, like, way... it is probably just, like, words. I don't know if it makes any sense. But once you get enough reputation with that group, they allow you to buy that book, the How to School Your Serpent. And then once you read it, you're able to tame serpents. Before that, even as a hunter, sometimes there's certain beasts that you're not able to tame. And these serpents are, they're classified, if I do the beast lore, they're classified as lesser dragonkin, which was not tameable by hunters, just default. But because I got that book, I was able to learn it. And that's how, sorry, I keep hiccuping, that's how I was able to tame these guys. So yeah, the books are like for very many various different things. Here's the barber shop, by the way, in Stormwind. So I go here, I can switch my genders. As a worgen, I also have a human appearance, which I never use. I find I can't get him to look right, so I just always stay in this. I find it looks cooler with my armor. And that's another really fun thing about the game is like just general customization. I have this bear mount, which on the side here it has this little transmogrification thing, so you can change the look of your gear, which is fun. Make yourself look all different. Like here's another one I use sometimes. There's another, well, I don't actually really care for that one, I was just trying it out. Here's another cool one. You saw, like, I sent you a picture of my other character wearing this too. So it's fun to like customize, collect the gear, and then like customize your character. Back in the day, like if you picked up a piece of gear, it only had one look, and that's how it looked. But now you can change anything you're wearing to look like anything else you've already collected. So I personally really like that feature of the game, because then you can really customize your character more. So yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here, and I wish you were like next to me so you could be like, tell me about this, or like if you had specific questions. But hopefully this gave you a better idea of like what the game looks like, how it plays. Let me show you. I'll just fly away on my serpent here. Okay, thanks for watching.